folks, I know a lot of you have been shopping, and maybe some of you have gotten gift cards and all that other stuff. And I really want to talk about why I don't shop at Simon Malls. Alright, and I urge you not to shop at Simon Malls as well. Alright, now, I've told you why I don't like Simon. Alright, it's obvious. Simon runs their malls in a very strict manner. Meaning that they push their own ideology into the business of the mall. Alright? And I want to first start with something that happened to a friend of mine who is an elevator enthusiast, just like I am. Alright? And they were at Riverside Square, which is in Bergen County, alright, which is in Hackensack. Alright? And I'm going to provide a link to their story as well. Alright? They were taking video of the scenic elevator going up. It's a Dover scenic elevator going up in the main, part of the mall. One of the mall's security guards, and this is another company that's absolutely terrible, Allied Barton, alright, which they do all the security for all the Simon Malls. Alright, they asked him not to take pictures, and he put his camera away, complied. He didn't argue with the security guard. He then took the escalator up to the main floor, where a Segway was waiting for him to tell him again that he couldn't film. Alright, so he already complied, and the security guard again told him you can't film. Alright. And he made him aware he was told that already. But the security guard followed the person around the mall, the spying on the person, even though they didn't have they put the camera away. They weren't taking any more pictures, they weren't filming any more elevators. Alright? They went to the mall manager, complained, and the mall manager said, I have to have a written request. Like Simon's really specific about this. The written request was denied, saying they were concerned the videos of the elevators on YouTube, get ready for this, could be used by terrorists to harm the shopping center. That's right, terrorists. Simon is concerned that somebody filming the elevators it could be used by terrorists. They're worried about terrorists getting video. I guess they're not aware of all the hidden cameras people can wear. I mean, even hidden cameras and glasses too. Alright, so you think the terrorists can go around walking around with a regular camera? No, no, no. They're going to go around with hidden cameras. So they're going to get their pictures anyway. Alright, all you're doing is stopping the law-abiding citizens from getting pictures. Alright? Alright? And so I'm going to go back, and then they went back to the shopping center, not taking any pictures. Alright, so they didn't even take any pictures. Alright? And they were just talking to their friend on the cell phone. And they looked at the elevator and the elevator machine room. Alright, they didn't go in the elevator, they just looked to see where the elevator machine room was, where the door was. And then two security guards came down the escalator and said to the person, "Remember us?" And my friend said, "Yes, I know I'm not allowed to take any pictures of video in the mall. I spoke with the mall manager. I don't even have a camera on me." And then they replied, "Well, your cell phone has a camera." And I then said, "Do I need to call the mall manager?" And they replied, "We'll bring you to her." All right. And then they went to the mall manager. And they followed this person around. All right. And then they met with they met again with the mall manager. All right. This is what Simon does. All right. The director of security, who is really just an Allied Barton representative, listened to the whole conversation. And they claimed that he was taking pictures with his cell phone, even though he wasn't. All right. And then they said, and then when they had a conversation, the security guard's like, "Are you recording me?" You know what I mean? He said no. I probably would have for my own legal protection. All right. And he was very nice about it. Very, my friend dealt with it very well, much better than I could have dealt with it. All right. The rep then tried to accuse the person of not being a patron, even though they come with their family and they shop there all the time. All right, and so even after the conversation, the security followed him, and they just followed him around the mall. All right, and this is what they do. This is what they do, and to top it off, he was told that the security guards met up with the Bergen County prosecutor and brought up the elevator filming. Do you believe it? So that's how ridiculous it is. You can read his whole story. I'll have the link in the video. Alright? And the Bergen County prosecutor considers it a threat. So we're going to have to put a link to the Bergen County prosecutor as well. And tell Mr. Bergen County prosecutor, I don't know what his name is, but I'll find out and we'll put it in the video, that this is America, alright? And filming, if you're concerned, there are so many more things going on right now than somebody filming elevators, like all these budget shortfalls going on, like this recession we're in, alright? So I would highly suggest that the prosecutor be a little more concerned with those things. I know his job's a prosecutor, so if you want to take a look at illegal activity, why don't you take a look and see all the illegal aliens working around? Why don't you do something about that, alright? But the bottom line is terrorists are going to get their video, they're going to get their photos. There's nothing you can do about it. There really isn't, because they're going to get their video and their photos through hidden cameras, and there's nothing you can do about it, alright? Nothing you can do about it, alright? You have to accept that, alright? This is what it's like when you live in a free country, alright? If you don't like it, then go and serve as a prosecutor in China, in communist China, if that's what you want, alright? The other story I want to tell you about is this 80-year-old church thief. This happened at Smith Haven Mall. This happened a while ago, actually. There was an anti-war protest at the Smith Haven Mall. So he was sitting down in the food court. He wasn't protesting in the food court, alright? He was sitting down in the food court. 80-year-old man was removed from the Smith Haven Mall because he was wearing a shirt that was protesting the Iraq War, alright? So they talked about this man. His name is Don Zirkle, a vet page. The mall was claiming he was disturbing shoppers at the Lake Grove Mall with his t-shirt, which they had described as graphic anti-war images. Alright? And this man's a deacon, alright? Alright? And basically what it is, and then show a picture of the shirt, and provide a link to the, I mean, there are so much worse shirts I see in the mall, alright? And so they pick on this guy, alright? And basically they said in the release that Zirkle was handing out anti-war pamphlets to mall goers, and that mall security told him to stop and turn his shirt inside out. Alright, Zirkle refused to turn his shirt inside out and wouldn't leave. And basically they charged him with trespassing, all that other stuff. But Zirkle said he was sitting down in the food court drinking coffee with his wife, Marie, 77, and several others when the police and mall security officers approached and demanded they remove their anti-war t-shirts, alright? So basically Simon is pro-war, so if they don't want anyone in the mall that's against the war, alright? If they're expressing that, then they're going to be kicked out. That's what Simon thinks. So Simon is a horrible company. They're a horrible anti-American company. And they like to say that they're patriots, but they're actually the enemy, because they're the ones that are trying to take away our freedom. Alright? So you can read that. I'll provide the link to that too as well. Please read those two things. And then I got some other stuff too. There was an incident at a Simon Mall where a business had shirts up against, selling shirts against the Iraq War, and their lease was actually terminated because of it. This is the way Simon thinks. Alright? So this is the way Simon thinks. This is a real problem. That's why I'm urging you not to shop at Simon Malls. Alright? I know we have a lot of them on Long Island, but they're like in New Jersey, plenty of other malls to go to, especially in New Jersey. Alright? Simon sucks. Alright? And I would urge people to write Simon too. We'll write the links in the wall as well. Alright? Because people shouldn't be shopping at this mall chain. Alright? It's not, and I don't care for the way they manage their malls. Their maintenance is garbage. Their customer service is garbage. They were investigated by the Attorney General because their gift cards actually after a few months start losing value. Alright? So Simon is a very corrupt company. A very bad company. A company that's not a good American business. Alright? And you can go to Westfield, you can go to Taubman, you can go to other mall chains like General Growth, a whole bunch of others. Alright? There's no reason to be shopping at Simon. Unfortunately, here on Long Island, Simon has a monopoly on our malls. They own most of the malls here, which I think is illegal and something should be done about it. But that's another issue. Bottom line is Simon violates civil rights. Simon harasses people. Simon breaks the law by using their... now in New Jersey, I am informed that Simons actually may not be allowed to restrict photography, alright, at least in Bergen County. So Simon also breaks the law that way, alright? They harass people, they violate civil rights, they are a company that needs to be shut down, all right? And they are a company that we, the people, should do our best to avoid in giving money to, all right? So I may be walking around in the Simon Mall getting the elevators or whatever, there is no way I will ever spend not even a dime of my money in their malls, never. And I urge you to do the same.